قال الله وهواد لا يهوى Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Kudash. Double honors to the elders of Gms.S.O.T.E. Peace and salutations to the brothers and the four corners of this earth, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. I am Brother Manatazak here once again with another video. It's another short video on some insight, some things I was running through my spirit today while I was, on the cutting field. I'm going to be starting Matthew 7:21. And it says, well, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of the Father, of my Father which is in heaven. Yeah? He said, he that doeth the will of my Father will enter into heaven. Not everybody who just call him, just like in the book of James where it said, be not hearers but doers also. Understand? Doers of what? Doers of his will, of the heavenly will, of the heavenly purpose. You understand? Yeah, because what Yahushai taught us to what? The commandments he gave us to do, be like him. Yeah? Like John 5:30. It says, well, I can of mine own self do nothing as I hear. I judge, and my judgment is just, because I seek not mine own will, but the will of the Father which hath sent me. You understand? It's because he do the will of the Father. That is why his judgment was perfect. You understand? That why the things he had done was perfect. Like why he was perfect. You understand? Because he come to execute the will of the Father, which is perfect, which is perfection. Yeah? That why he was without blemish, because what? The will of the Most High is without blemish. It is pure. You understand? Yeah. That is what we had to understand, and we had to partake in as servants of the Most High. Understand? Bidding to his will. Understand? And fighting that purpose. Giving to Yahushai. Understand? Because without him would nothing be. You understand? Nothing would be but for him. It's by his word, the precept that says, well, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with power, and the word was power. Well, in the scriptures it's a God there, but we all know the word God means what? Power. You understand? In the beginning was the word, and the word was with power, and the word was power. You understand? Which means what? The will or the commandment from the Most High was there in the beginning, which was his will, and when he speak it, what? It had to be done. Therefore what? His will be done. You know? In the Isaiah 45 verses from verse 5, it says, well, I am the Most High, and there is none else. There is no power beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me. You understand? He girded us before we even knew him. Verse 6, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the rising of the sun and from the west, that there is none beside me. You understand? And we know what? The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So we say from the rising of the sun, which is in the east, and from the west side, you will know what? That there is no power other than the Most High. You understand? There is none beside me. I am the Most High, and there is none else. Verse 7, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Most High, do all these things. You understand? He do all these things. By what? By his will, by his word, by his commandment. All these things be done. Yeah? A man can't, you know what I mean? The way of a man is not as himself, and that is the precept I want to get, you know. You understand? A man can just get up and do what he want. Yeah, we might seem to have free will, but we don't. We have choice. But hey, at the end of the day, the Most High is omnipotent. He would not be omnipotent if he didn't know what would have been our next move. You know? In Jeremiah 10:23, it says, O Most High, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. Understand? O Most High, correct me, but with judgment, not in thy anger, lest thou bring me to nothing. So if you don't do the Most High will, and you upset him, he'll correct you in anger, put you through many tribulations. You understand? To bring you to nothing before your enemies, make you all laughing stock. Yeah? All this because you think it wise in your own eyes to do what you want. You understand? You think you're above the Most High, you think you do have to succumb to the Most High will. You understand? We go to Baruch, for example, of what has happened when you do succumb to the Most High will. Yeah, this is Baruch 4. I'll start from 12. Yeah, it said, "Let no man rejoice over me, a widow and forsaken of many, for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they departed from the law of power, from the law of the Most High." Yeah, they knew not his statutes, nor walk in the ways of his commandments, which is what his will. His commandments and his will is the same. Understand? Nor trod in the paths of discipline in his righteousness. Verse 14, "Let them that dwell about Zion come, and remember ye the captive of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting had brought upon them." You understand? He said, "What? Let them that dwell about Zion come and remember ye the captivity of my sons and my daughters, which the everlasting," which goes back to Yahweh, "had brought upon them." Understand? "For he had brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation," understand, "and of a strange language, who neither reverenced old man nor pitied child." Yeah, they would have slaughtered everything. That was the purpose. They succumbed to the Most High will. It was the Most High will that happen. Verse 16, "These have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone desolate without daughters." Verse 17, "But what can I help you?" Yeah, what I could help you. Verse 18, "For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies." You understand? They say, "He that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies." He will do it. Understand? Because as I was reading in Isaiah, he is the Most High. There is none, you understand, but him, and he do all things, so he will do it. You understand? But I mean, if you do succumb to evil, what you feel will happen? Send a strange nation upon you, leave you desolate, leave you as a widow. You understand? Bring captivity upon you. That is what we in right now, captivity. Yeah, that is what we in. I'm going to go to Luke 11 and 12. Salakia. Luke 11:1. Right? And this is when the disciples was teaching. Salakia, this was when the disciples wanted the Yahushua to teach them how to pray. Here what he say here, he said, "And it came to pass that as he was praying in a certain place, when he ceased, one of his disciples said unto him, Lord, teach us to pray, as John also taught his disciples. And he said unto them, When ye pray, say, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so in earth." He said, "Thy will be done. Thy will be done." You understand? Thy will be done. Let his will be done. Just like how it is in heaven, so shall it be in it. You understand? That is the meat of this precept I wanted to bring out here. That is the Lord's Prayer. That is why we just read it during the Passover as well. That is why it's part of the Passover ceremony. Understand? Reverencing the Lord to let his will be done. Above all our desires, above all our wants and needs. You understand? When you pray and say, Father, your will be done. Not mine, but yours. Because you don't make mistakes. You don't execute wicked judgment. You understand? Whatever the Lord brings as well is righteous judgment. You may not understand it. That is why the scriptures say, well, my ways are not your ways, neither my thoughts are your thoughts. You understand? Because we might not understand what the Most High doing at a certain point in time, but hey, it's righteous judgment. Understand? Without question, we will not question it. You know? I'm going to close off in Ephesians. I'm going to bring my last precept here. You know, let's keep it straight to the point, you know? Just referencing the importance of succumbing to that will. You know? The Ephesians 1. I'll start from 5. It said, having predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yahushua Mashiach to himself according to the good pleasure of his will. He predestinates us. Remember, if I'm not mistaken, as in John, he said, the disciples were given unto him from the Father. You understand? We were given unto him from the Father. You understand? So the Most High predestinated us from since the beginning to be what? To be a son. Understand? The adoption of children by through Yahushua HaMashiach to himself. You understand? He adopted us through Yahushua HaMashiach unto himself, according to the good will of his, the good pleasure of his will, Salakia. Yeah, the good pleasure of his will, because it was his will to do it. That is why he did it. Understand? Verse 6. To the praise of the glory of his grace, wherein he had made us accepted in the beloved. Verse 7. In whom we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins according to the riches of his grace, wherein he had abounded toward us in all wisdom and prudence, having made known unto us the mystery of his will, according to having made known unto us the mystery of his will according to his good pleasure, which he had purposed in himself. Yes, so your purpose is also your will. You understand? It was his purpose. Everything we go through, you understand, from beginning to end, is all for the Most High purpose, to the pleasure of his will. You understand? Verse 10. That in the dispensation of the fullness of the times he might gather together in one all things in Mashiach, both which are in heaven and which are on earth, even in him. There is where the point is here, verse 11. In whom also we have obtained an inheritance, being predestinated according to the purpose of him who worketh all things after the counsel of his own will. Yeah, after the counsel of his own will. Understand? It's because he wanted done. That is why it is done. Don't feel you get off your bed because you wanted to wake up. Don't feel you do what you do because you wanted to do it. No, the Most High will. You understand? Regardless of good or bad, the Most High will you to do that. You understand? The Most High allowing it to happen because what? It is his will. It's serving his purpose. Yeah? And that's just the point I wanted to get across in this video. Hope it was edifying. What I would say, Kala Lal Wahawadla Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Kwakudash, about honor to the elders and apostles at Gms.S.O.T.E. Peace and salutations to the brothers on the four corners of this earth, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. Once again, I am Brother Manatazak saying Shalom.